Team deathmatch. Show no mercy.
Team deathmatch. Time to work, soldiers.
Enemies, use all your senses. Sight, sound, touch, smell, and gun.
Is without a doubt the dumbest thing I've ever heard. You are a idiot.
Do you guys remember when the so-called military/war game actually had applicable themes? You know, about a call to duty? A time when you had actual soldiers running around with skins representing their particular class and holding real guns. A time when the multiplayer had multiple announcers representing each faction with compelling voice acting and music. Do y'all remember when the maps where the multiplayer matches took place were actually representative of the game and its campaign? Like, there's a mission that takes place in Chernobyl in the campaign. Oh, so let's have a map like that. A campaign mission in Silo Heights? Yeah, sure. Let's add that in. Fortunately and unfortunately, I remember such a time. Because while the memories are great, just absolutely peak in gaming, it's also a stark reminder how the greed and corporatization of Call of Duty and just the overall gaming landscape will basically never allow for that authentic feeling to ever be felt in an FPS, maybe ever again. Now, let me hammer in that corporatization part. There's unequivocally no bigger party to blame in all this than COD and Activision. Sure, you can take shots at Fortnite, but at least it was original to their game, and it fits the more cartoony and unserious vibe. But Call of Duty is a war game. Yeah, the gameplay isn't the most realistic, but no war game is perfect and a milsim. I mean, hell, no one would play the game if you just died and the screen went to permanent blackness. Listen.
Here! Look, listen!
Regardless how you go about the engine of a first-person shooter, how you move around, shoot, reload, etc., if the setting and theme of your game are intended to be taken seriously, the modes in the game representing those themes should also be taken serious, aka the multiplayer. Look at COD 4, for example. It's a fictional take on a real-life war that took place in the Middle East, in Iraq or Afghanistan. It's trying to replicate a real-life experience that thousands, if not millions of people experienced between soldiers and citizens. And war is obviously an extremely serious topic because it involves the pain, suffering, and loss of human life. The multiplayer of COD was always an extension of the campaign that represented those themes. It was a way for players to play said game, but in a way where it would let them compete against other players instead of just against the computer. And in that multiplayer, you would have the guns, skins, factions, voices you were familiar with in the single player. So to put it succinctly, the multiplayer needs to take itself seriously. Even if it's not the most realistic and you have people miraculously spawning back in out of thin air. Today I want to take a look at how COD multiplayer has completely devolved from being that cool game that every other developer copied, and then became that cringe game with an identity crisis, copying everyone else.
Customization!
Genius!
Write that down, write that down!
Trying to milk children's parents of every last dollar they have. Let's just start with the skins and guns. Until COD Ghosts, there was no selecting your skin. In BO1 you had some face paints, but that's really the most you'd get out of skin customization. You picked a weapon, an SMG, an assault rifle, a sniper rifle, etc. And all the corresponding skins would vary based on the faction, the weapon of choice, or the weather in the map. And it was cool. It was also a small visual indicator of what type of enemy you're going to face in an engagement. If you saw the ghillie suit, you knew probably not to peek because it's a sniper. If you see this guy up close, it's probably an SMGer and maybe you need to move back. These character models you would play as were present in the campaign and then would be playable in the maps that represent that level from the campaign. So if you're on Favela, you'll be a militia member. If you're in Berlin, Germany, you'll be a German soldier. If you're in Vietnam, then, well, you guessed it, you'll be an NVA soldier. Now, I get this is technically a subjective preference, but I have no other way to say it other than it was cool. It gave the matches some flair, you know, some backstory, some lore. And the guns, too. You had real guns in COD with real names. For the most part, Black Ops 2 was unique in that it had some fictional guns mixed in with real guns, giving it kind of a realistic sense because you would imagine in the future some guns would be phased out and some would stay around. And it was unique seeing a Scar H alongside a futuristic and awesome looking MAA-1. I know that for me growing up, and obviously I wasn't the intended audience because I was only a child, but I loved playing with the new guns in COD multiplayer, and then looking them up, seeing them beyond just the animated form of a video game. Like, oh look, an MP40, that's super cool, it was used by the Germans, wow. And then, oh look, cool, a Scar H, oh it's made by this company called FN, and it's deployed by US Navy SEALs. And then, oh look, it's my boy, the Galil. Oh, apparently that's an Israeli weapon, wow, super interesting.
It's radical! Radical!
Listen, I'm not saying COD should glorify war, and really that's not what it's doing by having real guns in the game. By putting in items that simply exist, all they're doing is depicting war for what it really is. We had it so good with the skins and the guns back then.
And it's gone.
What?
There's no doubt to me that it all went wrong with Call of Duty when they allowed you to play as a woman in the multiplayer.
I was just kidding! Come on! Come on! You guys know I was just kidding, right?
But seriously, when Advanced Warfare came around and then BO3 after, and I like BO3, so I'm not going to take a serious dump on it, but these two games would absolutely murder what we knew about skin customization in Call of Duty. It all started with this fucking clown in Advanced Warfare. And next thing you know, you're playing BO3 running around killing 6 of the same person because the skins are now all tied to your specialist. It's something that just took the overall vibe that I liked about COD away. And then it further devolved. Call of Duty World War II comes out and you can play as a black female Nazi?
What kind of place is this?
What in the fucking Wolfenstein alternate history bullshit is going on? And it only continues to devolve with the absolute abominations that are COD Vanguard, the new Modern Warfare 2 and 3, and Black Ops 6. I mean, seriously, Nicki Minaj, Homelander, 21 Savage. It's like, I don't even recognize what this fucking franchise is anymore.
I don't know you anymore.
Activision.
You're breaking my heart.
For I am the great cornholio. I need Kippy for my bum.
And the guns. The guns. For the most part, the guns still look the same, but these names, bro. What the fuck is a Lachlan? If I was putting money down on it, I would bet that all of these gun names are AI generated. It's crazy to me how COD, as a smaller franchise, had the money to fork out to have the rights to the real names of these weapons. But now, in the 2020s, where they've literally been the best-selling game every year outside of when Rockstar releases a game, are too cheap.
You can't keep getting away with this!
This is just disgusting. This is lame, and most importantly, it's cringy. You lost your balls, Call of Duty. And while World at War would be the first example of some revisionist history in order to incorporate a weapon sight into a World War II game to make it more like COD 4, the aperture sight is at least purely mechanical and not some dot sight that's more advanced than what we currently have on guns today. I mean, Jesus Christ, does COD Vanguard have zero shame? This game is like a parody. It's something I expect to see from a fan who's trying to make fun of the corporatization of COD. Or like if South Park decided to make an episode about COD for whatever reason. Like, you have absolutely butchered iconic World War II weapons. You insolent pieces of trash. And the weapon skins used to be cool, yet not completely overindulgent and silly and out of place. Back in Modern Warfare 2, you had Blue Tiger, Red Tiger, Fall. In COD 4, you had Gold. And those are all awesome, while also being grounded. Then you had Diamond Camo in Black Ops 2. And while it's kind of the first of the really more exuberant camos in COD, it's still a really nice addition to Black Ops 2. But over time, all these reactive camos became less and less special and just take away from the groundedness of weapon skins, and I'm honestly just sick of it. God, is everyone's brains rotted so bad these days that they need to feel like they're having an acid trip looking at their weapon skin? I mean, fucking space cats, bro? What is this? And then we have the announcers, and the absolute neutering of this facet of Call of Duty. It honestly might make me rage more than anything else about this video. Like, I'm seriously questioning my ability to not kick a hole straight through my PC right now. And all of this anger stems from the fact that we used to have it so good. Like, we had it amazing. Just listen to some of these memorable performances from the old, inspired, and innovative Call of Duties.
Team Deathmatch. Rangers lead the way.
Team Deathmatch. Focus on the mission.
These announcers would get you so hyped up to start a match, and then after a victory, or they'd be there to drop some shame on your head in a loss.
Your defeat has brought great dishonor to our nation.
Bro, the amount of aura that the MW2 Spetsnaz,
Demolition. Destroy the objective.
or the Black Ops 1 Op 40 theme has.
Team Deathmatch. Stay focused, stay alive.
It's reaching Planet of the Apes Caesar levels of aura, or Clutch Time Halliburton. And then even outside of the pregame and the postgame, these announcers, or just the characters in-game, were always dropping some straight fire.
Крой меня, я должен перезарядиться!
Tactical nuke incoming! Enemy AT-0
And then, after Black Ops 2,
And it's gone.
What?
I would definitely say MW3 was kind of the start of the decline in how cool the voices sounded.
Team Deathmatch. Take no prisoners, comrades.
But it's not nearly as bad as what it's become. Ghost started with these stupid-ass voice packs, you know, Snoop Dogg.
You motherfuckers won good shit, cuz I appreciate the way y'all handled that business. Guard dog ready? Yeah, them pussies afraid.
And unfortunately, these voice announcers would somehow still be better than the bass announcers in the game.
Word will be performing his version of Solitude in E minor.
Yeah, E minor, all right, yeah.
Team Deathmatch.
By BO3, we're down to 2 generic factions, Black Ops versus CDC, whatever, throwing out any lore building and flair. And it's only continued on to the point where we ended up with my team versus enemy team. Just another example that any person involved in the creation of COD Vanguard should genuinely, by law, be forced into retirement from creating any other video game due to their crimes against art and creativity. And what are even these quotes, dude? This is the cringiest shit I've ever heard.
Enemies, use all your senses. Sight, sound, touch, smell, and gun.
The amount this dude is trying and nothing being said is even remotely cool. It's given me secondhand embarrassment. Listen, I haven't been keeping up with the more recent Call of Duties, but it seems like since Modern Warfare 2019, they've just been rocking it with 2 generic multiplayer factions. Allegiance versus Coalition? Really?
Team Deathmatch. You're clear to engage.
Why not the SEALs or, I don't know, ISIS or some shit? Something applicable. Something to make any of this more believable and to give some sort of semblance of suspension of disbelief. I think a big part of why they've done what they have with factions is that they're bad for customization and skin sales. You can't really let players choose whatever skins and operators they want and have distinct factions still. So I think they chose to ditch it for the sake of making more money on skins and in return giving the game an inauthentic, less passionate feel. And finally, we have the maps. The multiplayer maps of old CODs were so great without even trying. I mean, half of them were cut straight from the campaign, with changes to effectively balance it for a competitive multiplayer experience. But they were always war-torn, and there's the sounds of gunfire or artillery going off. To give the vibe that your match is just a small gunfight in the midst of a larger battle. The environments were so cool, you know, Wasteland in Modern Warfare 2, WMD in Black Ops 1, Wetwork in COD 4. Dude, even some of these DLC maps, just, Jesus, look at Berlin Wall, where you literally fight between both sides of the Berlin Wall with a no-man's zone in the middle. It's so immersive and innovative. And then you have Kowloon from the same DLC pack. You start the match and this plane flies right over you. And it's also got zip lines. Like, Jesus. How cool can you get, Treyarch? Can you save some pussy for the rest of us? All of this is, well, you guessed it.
And it's gone!
Gone to the store to get milk. These futuristic games make the maps sillier and sillier. Playing on a picnic table. Playing in a zombies map. These clean and sterile environments taking place in the middle of the most deadly, destructive conflict in human history. Most of these maps just take place anywhere, dude. And in the new Modern Warfare 3, a vast majority of its maps are just reskins from the old Modern Warfare 2. Maps that were inspired and based on the original Modern Warfare 2's campaign, not Modern Warfare 3's. So they're really not applicable being in this game. I don't know about you, but I prefer the feeling that I'm in a small battle, in a realistic looking setting, fighting, rather than basically a simulation battle arena. Suspension of disbelief. It's not easy to achieve, but the old CODs did, and were successful, unlike this modern dumpster fire that is COD multiplayer. I can't get suspension of disbelief when every single map is tiny in 3 lanes. It's basically reskinned. It feels so inorganic. The sad thing is, I've been known to like maps just for their aesthetic. Even maps like Derail or Estate in Modern Warfare 2, I absolutely love them just because I love the visuals. But these days, Call of Duty can't get the visuals or the design of the maps correctly. Overall, I take these degenerative changes a few ways. 1, as I've already stated, Activision is greedy. It's money over quality. I don't know how the developers truly feel, but clearly they can't be the creative and brilliant nerds they once were during Call of Duty 4, World at War, Black Ops 1, Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops 2. It's apparently more marketable to just sell skins to whales. And more importantly, I take these changes as pure impudence and disrespect. If you're making a war game, right, and millions have fought and died for various reasons and causes, soldiers and citizens alike, you have an obligation to understand the serious nature of war in the game you're making. You can't have a game about ending the fascist Nazi regime and then in your multiplayer have Attack on Titan bundles and stupid elves dancing around. This series was once in a way able to glorify veterans, and that's really what a grounded approach does. It doesn't glorify or water down what they've seen, but when making the game and depicting war to the best of your ability, it honors what they did because it shows realistically what could have happened or what does happen in war. Overall, I'm just abhorred by what this franchise has become. It's lost all of its charm in favor of being a stupid-ass game for brain-dead and brain-rot children, or honestly, even adults. If you buy COD still, and especially if you buy the skins, I'm just gonna have to assume you're kinda dumb. That's just kinda how it is. If you need something to play with friends, well, that's one thing. You know, I definitely think you need some better tasting games than these cookie cutter CODs that you evidently have some Stockholm syndrome for. There are other games out there. You can just not buy COD. I know. Crazy idea, right? That's the only way things will ever change. But unfortunately, I know it won't. And it's why I still play old CODs or just single player games. And I hope you guys will join me in that. Thank you.